Hello, welcome to another edition of DBE TV News. You can watch this bulletin on the DBE TV News YouTube channel, the Department of Basic Education's YouTube channel, and on OpenView channel 122. I am Tsehohajo Moagi. In our top stories, the Minister of Basic Education, Siphiwe Gwagube, tables the budget for the 2024-25 financial year. 11 learners remembered during a memorial service. A high-level delegation from Tanzania visits the DBE offices in Pretoria, and Limpopo Premier Dr. Bopi Ramathuba lambasts the vandalism of schools. The basic education sector has been under the spotlight in Parliament during the week of the 14th of July 2024. It all started off with Minister Siphiwe Gwagube tabling the MTEF budget for the department. The Department of Basic Education has 32.3 billion rand to spend on various programs for the 2024-25 financial year. This was announced by the minister during the department's budget vote in Parliament. The minister was supported by Deputy Minister Dr. Regina Mhaule and Director General Matanzima Mweli. Before announcing where and how the money will be allocated, Gwagube started off by explaining the key priorities for the 7th administration.
Number one, we will intensify our efforts to improve access to and the quality of early childhood development because we understand its importance. Number two, we will be improving literacy and numeracy skills across all phases of schooling. Number three, we want to improve access to and the quality of inclusive education for all our learners, particularly those with special needs, because it's important that the system is accommodating of everyone. And number four, we want to improve access to and the quality of training and professional development opportunities that are available to our school management teams. The teachers are the backbone of our schooling system. Given the many challenges that our teachers and principals are required to respond to daily, we need to make sure that they are supported in order to achieve what they need to achieve and make sure that our learning outcomes are improved. And then finally, but certainly not an exhaustive list, we want to improve the safety and the quality of schooling environments for our learners. This includes reducing overcrowding in classrooms, improving access to electricity, water, adequate sanitation, and of course, removing inappropriate structures such as pit toilets in our schools. In particular, I want to carefully review the recently published norms and standards for school infrastructure to make sure that they give clarity to provinces and to drive meaningful improvements in this regard.
She then explained to the members of Parliament how the money will be allocated for various educational programs.
The allocation for curriculum policy support and monitoring has increased by 16% and now sits at just above 4 billion rand. The allocation for teacher education, resource and institutional development is sitting just under 1.5 billion rand. Planning information assessment is allocated 15 billion rand, which marks an 8% increase from the previous year. The allocation to educational enrichment services has increased by 5.8%, which is a 10 billion rand allocation this year. The overall allocation for conditional grants is 26 billion rand, which is an increase by 10.4% in the previous year. These are the conditional grants I am talking about. Math, science, technology grant has been allocated just under 500 million rand, which is a 15% increase from last year. Infrastructure delivery is continuously being funded through the Education Infrastructure Grant, and that is allocated 13 billion rand. Accelerated School Infrastructure Development Initiative is funded by 1.6 billion rand, which also includes the Sanitation Appropriate Education Initiative. HIV and AIDS, whose purpose is to support South Africa's HIV and TB prevention strategy, has been allocated just under 250 million rand. The school nutrition program has been allocated 9.7 billion rand, and the learners with severe to profound intellectual disabilities grant receives just under 300 million rand, which is an increase of 7.1%.
Meanwhile, the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Basic Education explains some of the matters they will be focusing on and what they're expecting from the department.
As a portfolio committee on basic education, we'll continue the legacy of previous committees that have made strides in improving the education sector. We'll build on those gains as we enhance the quality of education. We have made recommendations on the budget vote as a committee to address various challenges affecting basic education sector. We have recommended that the department ensures that the placement of Funza Lushaka graduates is prioritized to ensure employment for graduates as teachers and reduce the levels of unemployment. The department ensures adequate steps are in place to align early childhood development services with the principles set out in the Children's Act. The department considers a review of the screening, identification, assessment, and support policy to ensure early identification of learners within the schooling system who may have learning disabilities and be properly placed and assisted. Furthermore, that the department employs mechanisms to curb the rising school dropout rates. We made more recommendations to improve the quality of teaching and learning, and that department ensures initiatives and programs are in place to improve on quality and access to education in rural areas. The department to ensure additional resources to be targeted at quintile 1 to 3 schools, especially in the townships and rural areas.
Now, following that, during the opening of the Parliament address, President Cyril Ramaphosa had this to say regarding the importance of quality education.
As a country, we need to appreciate the impact that a well-functioning and quality education system has on both reducing poverty and driving inclusive economic growth. We will therefore focus on achieving universal access to early childhood development, which is a prerequisite. And this, honorable members, is a prerequisite for improved learning in later years. We will ensure schools are conducive to deliver good education with enough classrooms, safe and appropriate sanitation facilities, clean water, and a daily meal for those children who attend our schools. To ensure that we produce the skills that our economy needs, we will expand vocational and technical training in schools and post-school institutions. And in this regard, we will seek to take a demand-led approach to skills development.
To other news now. It's been a sad start to the third term of the academic year for the Gauteng province following the deaths of 11 learners from Carltonville. The learners, together with their driver, passed away when their private scholar transport was hit from the back by a bakkie, causing the transport to overturn before catching fire. 10 learners from Rockland Primary School and another from Laerskool Blyvoortsig were remembered during memorial service at Grace Bible Church in the area. In attendance included family, friends, schoolmates, community members, led by the ward councillor and Gauteng Education MEC, Matume Chilwane.
And I want to say to the families, as Gauteng, we continue to say we have lost. These children, when they come to our schools, we take care of them. We instill their faith and their hope in them. They are able to come back to you at home and say, Mommy and Daddy, I want to be a doctor. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a president, because of the knowledge and skills and support and the mentoring and the love and the guidance that we give in our schools. So these are our children. These are our children. So this loss is not yours alone. It's also our loss. However, we'll continue to say and really wish you strength in this rather difficult time and say to you, our thoughts, our prayers are with you each and every day in this difficult time, and say that may God's love and peace be an anointment, be an anointment to your wounded hearts.
Rockland Primary School and Large School Blyvoor 8 principals addressed those in attendance, citing the devastation felt by all at the loss of the learners who had great potential.
Our hearts are broken, and our community is engulfed in this sorrow. The loss of these young lives filled with potential and promises is a tragedy beyond words. As a school community, we share in the grief of the families who have lost their beloved children. I do not have enough words to comfort you. Our thoughts and prayers are with you during this difficult time. I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Merafong community, the local religious leaders, the Department of Education, and the various government departments for their support during these trying times. Without your support, you wouldn't have been able to cope with this tragedy of this magnitude. May God bless you.
I'm standing here today with a great heartache of what has happened to our children. Doesn't matter if it's Rocklands or Blyvoor, it's still a sad thing. And our condolences goes out to you as parents and family members of what has happened with the loss of our young ones. And also to the educators. They are in a class, it's basically your child for the day, give it back to the mother and father, and the next day it's again your child which you are working with. Condolences to you as well. We hope that you are strong and that time will heal all wounds.
Minister Sivue Gwagube visited the two schools following this tragedy. She met with the principal and spoke to the staff.
Words are never enough in a situation like this, because children who are this young, and 11 of them losing their life the way that they did, is not something that is easy to understand. But I want to also assure you that you have my full support. The team that I lead, the Department of Basic Education, is with you. You will not be alone during this time. We are with you, and we know that this is a difficult time.
The Department of Basic Education hosted a high-level delegation from the United Republic of Tanzania. South Africa has an active cooperation with Tanzania, having signed a bilateral agreement in 2022, followed by an implementation plan in 2023. The agreement includes an exchange of knowledge and best practice in various aspects of education, such as teacher development, effective implementation of digital education, provision of LSTM, and the institutionalization of Kiswahili in South Africa. Now, during the meeting, the training and accreditation of teachers, strengthening of curricula, and improving learning and teaching materials, especially for the offering of Kiswahili as an optional second additional language in South African public schools, were discussed. The delegation also visited schools in Olivenhoutbosch in Tshwane. Now, when we return, we are in China to find out why some South African learners are there.
Hey learners in grade R11, feeling stuck or confused? Have you lost learning time in the last while? Well, Tswelopele is back to help you catch up. Find resources on the DBE cloud to use and share. Watch support lessons on TV or on our YouTube channel, where you will find exciting lessons in key grade R to 9 subjects. And for grade 10 to 11, have fun learning in many different subjects. Join our community of learners and teachers, parents and caregivers on Facebook, where there are tips and advice for better learning. Need help? Contact us via our WhatsApp line and get support on all your subject problems. Stay connected. You can count on us. Check out our website to find out more at www.tswelopele.org.za. Tswelopele.
Learners from Bonoelong Primary School in Ivory Park took part in the China-Africa Children Hand in Hand week-long event at China National Children's Center in Beijing. This is part of the implementation of the China-South African Agreement and the Warm Children's Heart Initiative, established by the wife of Chinese President Xi Jinping in partnership with the Organization of African First Ladies to show care and support to children globally. By learning martial arts in the cradle of Kung Fu, they get to learn more about traditional Chinese cultures. The learners also visited the Great Wall and presented a Kung Fu performance there. The Gauteng Education Department has expressed satisfaction at the progress of the Grade 1 and 8 online applications for the 2025 academic year. On day 6 since the application process was open, MEC Matume Chilwane announced they had received over 500,000 applications. Parents are encouraged to apply to a minimum of 3 schools and a maximum of 5 schools to increase the chances of a successful placement. The online applications will close on 12 August 2024, and according to the department, applicants who have submitted complete applications can expect to receive offers of placement from 16 September. In the meantime, Chilwane said parents must follow the application instructions and be on the lookout for their applications updates on their registered contact details. He further clarified that despite the admission difficulties faced in the beginning of the 2024 academic year, the department made certain that all learners who applied were placed in schools.
It's 5 steps, 5 easy steps. You log in, create your user profile, then you start the process. You register yourself as a parent or a guardian details, your home address details, the learner details, and you apply at least a minimum of 3 schools. Some parents choose 1 school or 2. So we advise parents to give us options, at least a minimum of 3 schools and a maximum of 5.
The 2024 edition of ABC Motsepe South African Schools Choral Eisteddfod National Championships will take place from 7 to 10 August in Randburg. SASKE is one of the Department of Basic Education's most significant annual cultural events. The competition intends to enhance the talent and interest of music in schools. Provinces and learners have been gearing up and preparing to compete at the national championship. Thousands of learners from all parts of the country will participate in the competition. Northern Cape Education MEC Abraham Foslu encouraged schools to continue participating in the competition and thanked the learners, teachers and parents for preparing for the competition.
History has recorded that music has been used as a vehicle for the liberation of our country from the draconian system of apartheid to a free, non-racial, non-sexist and democratic South Africa. Today, South Africa is marveled by the entire world for its ability to excel on matters of democratic principles as well as of good governance.
In Limpopo, learners from 4 schools returned for the 3rd term to devastation and vandalism. Stationery and a printing machine were amongst other things that were destroyed when Gidela Secondary School and 3 other schools were set alight. Limpopo Premier Dr. Bopi Ramotuba expressed concern over the damage to the schools and encouraged for learning and teaching to continue despite the incidents that have occurred.
Batira banga teli banga bukhomi na burongo kuri n'wina mi ta kuma dyondzo ya kahle michini leyi mi yi vonaka i leyi va nga mi xavela yona tibuka leti ti nga tshwa stationary i leswi MEC va nga mi xavela mara problem ku na vanhu va mona vana va timbilu to biha va nga velekiwa hi hina vasati hi tshama na vona van'wani va vona i vo malumba wa n'wina van'wani va vona i va ri yini i ti-cousin ta n'wina ma va tiva mi tshama na vona kaya ma ti vutisa ku munhu loyi wa mina ku tirha a nga tirhi mara i khome iPhone i kuma ku hi iPhone.
She added that she will make certain that teaching and learning takes place without any disruptions.
What we did this year was unfair to Education Department. We have stolen time for you to teach. It must never happen again. The licenses for people to run traditional circumcision cannot continue when the schools have opened. That must never happen under our watch. Next time, when they apply, I'm going to sit down with the MEC for Coxter, HOD for Coxter, and DG for a provincial government. When the license are being applied, the committee must actually, you must send somebody from education to sit in that committee. We can't talk about learners without educators.
That's how we end this bulletin on the DBE TV News YouTube channel, the Department of Basic Education's YouTube channel, and on OpenView channel 122. Do remember to send through your stories or comments by contacting us on our X page handle at DBE TV News, Facebook DBE TV News, and get up-to-date news on our WhatsApp news page DBE TV News. Thank you for watching.